morning, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving week to all of you. Good to be here with you this morning once again. Let's get started. Standing outside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, but still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. Well, the door's unlocked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. You'll find a place of rest in the arms of Spirit. God's waited so long for your homecoming day. God knows the peace you seek and the hurt you're feeling. Spirit wants to hold you and to wipe the tears away. Well, the Father waits with open arms, and God is calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. Well, there's room enough in the house of love for someone just like you. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, so come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, just come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in.
Well, good morning, Unity of Pompano Beach. I am Ron Smith. I'm Director of Operations here at the church, and we are so glad you're here. And I'm here on behalf of our spiritual leaders, Reverend Lawrence Palmer and Bev Spivey. They are both in the Bahamas with their family enjoying Thanksgiving. They will be back next Sunday. Yes, let's give them a big hello. We know they're watching. Hello, Bev and Lawrence, and hello to everyone else who's out there on live stream this morning, too.
When Bev and Lawrence are in the Bahamas, this is what they call their scantily clad Thanksgiving, so, right?
And this morning, we also have our beloved licensed Unity teacher, Cynthia Roberts, who will be giving our talk today. And we also have our beloved minister of music, James McCoy, and his wonderful band of renown.
Good morning. We're very fortunate to have Mr. Peter Wallace with us at the piano this morning. And direct from Cincinnati, Ohio, by way of Coral Gables, Florida, we have Mr. Pedro Barroas at the drum set. And our featured soloist is, of course, Samantha Natalie Wallace. And today is the annual, it's called Thanksgiving Song. You didn't know there was a song just for Thanksgiving, and yet you're about to hear it today. The music of Mary Chapin Carpenter, and we also have a song from Daniel Namad.
Thank you, James. Yes, this is all about Thanksgiving today, and we do wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. This Thursday is the big day, but we'll have a little taste of it at the end of service, as you'll find out in a few minutes. So we have an annual theme here at Unity of Pompano Beach that we always like to remember. This year's theme is One Humanity, Many Stories. And we also have monthly themes. And this month, of course, is expressing gratitude. So let's all recite our affirmation together. I am gratefully and wonderfully blessed. Yes, we are. We also, of course, have a vision and mission here at Unity of Pompano Beach. Let's recite our vision. Centered in God, we create an ever-expanding spiritual community of one. And our mission, we are a spiritual beacon of inspiration, abundance, and enlightenment. And let's take all of these divine ideas into prayer. I invite you just to close your eyes for a moment. Become centered into this space and time here at this beloved spiritual center. We are so grateful at this time of Thanksgiving for all the blessings that continue to pour forth in our lives. No matter what you may be experiencing, we know that God is our source, and we trust and have faith in Spirit. We recognize the blessings that are always present. And we close this prayer in gratitude by saying, thank you, God. Thank you, God. And thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. Now I invite you to rise as we sing Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed.
I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. Flowing like a river of peace. I am nature's wandering child. Love cannot be added to me. I am made complete in the divine. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. There's magic in every day, like a beautiful song. As I'm choosing my way, there's a voice inside to guide me along. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led.
We would love to recognize anyone that may be visiting us or here for the first time. We invite you just to raise your hand for a moment. We have a welcome brochure. We got several.
Welcome, welcome.
Keep your hand up. Our ambassadors are here to give you the brochure, and we also invite you to join us after service for our bountiful banquet. Today is a great day to be here at Unity of Pompano Beach, because there's a lot of good stuff after service. We also invite you, if you're here for the first time, to fill out a contact slip. The slips are in the chair back in front of you in the white envelope, and we'd love to add you to our email list as we have announcements of different events from time to time, and we'd love to get to know you better. So again, please join us after church in the fellowship hall. And we also have a welcome table there where you can pick up more information about this spiritual center and the Unity movement. Prayer is also very important here at Unity of Pompano Beach. The Unity movement was founded on prayer, so we honor that tradition. We have prayer slips also in the chair back in front of you. If you have anything on your heart or mind that you would like us to hold in prayer for you, you're welcome to fill out the prayer slip. You can deposit it in our prayer chest, which is in the lobby of the church. This prayer chest will be brought forward during our meditation time as we honor all of the prayer requests that are in there and that will be in there after service. We also have a phenomenal team of chaplains here at this spiritual center, and they are in our prayer chapel, which is in our fellowship hall right next door, 30 minutes before service and 30 minutes after service. So we invite you to stop by there for prayer, as well as after service. They will be lining this auditorium, and before you head out to the banquet, have a moment of prayer with them. Oftentimes we think we only want to pray when there's something going on in our lives. This is a fabulous time to pray all about gratitude. So if you want to honor those blessings, bring that to a chaplain in prayer. Now we have some wonderful things happening. Today is our annual Bountiful Banquet. I saw a lot of food going in next door, so thank you to everybody who brought some good stuff to eat. I'm going to give you some instructions at the end of service so that everyone moves into the building nice and easy and gently, and everyone gets food. So stay tuned. I'll check in with you on that afterwards. But again, today is a wonderful day, and this is a great time to express gratitude for all the blessings that are always here in the fellowship hall after church. And yes, it's Christmas time, folks, so we do have a Christmas decorating event next Saturday at 10 a.m. We invite anyone that wants to get into the Christmas spirit and who's not out there shopping for Black Friday and Black Saturday to come join us at 10 o'clock. We have a brand new Christmas tree that will be going up on the platform this next weekend. We always line this auditorium with garland, add some Christmas lights, as well as having a tree next door in the fellowship hall. So come join us for that. Also, we have something else to put you in the Christmas spirit. We have our annual Unity Movement Advent booklet. These are for sale in the bookstore, and we also will have some in the fellowship hall after service. They are only $1. They make a fabulous stocking stuffer. They are filled with wonderful, wonderful Christmas and holiday inspiration, and they honor the Advent season, which starts right after Thanksgiving and goes all the way through Christmas time. So we honor that part of the Unity Movement through this booklet. Pick one up in the fellowship hall or in the bookstore. We also have an event coming up in January called Infinite Blessings. Infinite Possibilities, creating the life of your dreams. This is a big, big event. This is a series of different speakers that will be here at the church. This is brought to you by the same folks that brought the Reignite Your Light symposium down in Fort Lauderdale last spring. They've decided to come to Unity of Pompano Beach because we were so supportive in that event, and it is January 11th. Now, you may notice if you look at these photos here, they have two speakers included in your roster. Both Lawrence Palmer and Bev Spivey will be presenting during this day-long workshop. So we invite you to pick up tickets. These tickets are being sold through their website. There's a pricing special of $99 for the day. This price is good through the end of November. We have flyers and little postcards, so we invite you to take those with you, and you can distribute those to friends or to your bring them to your salon or to your yoga studio, and invite your friends and neighbors to join us on January 11th. Now with that, I invite everyone to rise and let's meet and greet our spiritual family.
Weave us together, weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together, together.
Let's all sing. Weave us together, weave us together
in unity and
love. Weave us together, weave us together, together in love. And when the music stops, we all sit back down. Thank you very much.
Save some fun for our bountiful banquet. Hello, I'm Dina Shimmick, and I will be reading our daily word for today, which is gratitude. As I embrace gratitude, I am filled with an awareness of greatness. It might be tempting to think that we need items and events to be grateful for before we can feel genuine gratitude. However, Unity Minister Eric Butterworth suggests that it is possible to experience the feeling of gratitude without needing a special reason to be grateful. I just feel it, he advised, adding that as we simply allow ourselves to feel gratitude, the flow of intelligence and love and peace and power will come through us and manifest as us effectively. The practice of gratitude, Butterworth explained, gets us into a full of greatness consciousness. As I generate gratitude, it lifts my heart, quickens my mind and body, and centers me in the flow of good that is present everywhere. And the scripture is from Acts 2:28. You have made known to me the ways of life. You will make me full of gladness with your presence.
Right now, as the prayer chest comes forward, we'd like to begin a time of prayer and meditation by singing together, You Know the Truth is You.
When you feel the light and love of God around you, you know the truth is you. As the light of God, the love of God surrounds you, you know the truth is you. Let the power of God, the peace of God inside you become the power, holy you. Become the peace, holy you. That is you. As the power of the Christ mind connects you, you know the truth is you. May divine intelligence inside you always guide you to the truth. Let the power of God, the peace of God inside you become the power, holy you. Become the peace, holy you. That is you. That is you. That is you.
And now, as we enter this time of meditation together, I invite you to close your eyes and simply start with your breath as you inhale and exhale. And in this breath, feel your body gracefully settling in, removing any tension, any to-dos, any stressors, and falling into that peace. And as you continue to breathe in, feel complete gratitude for your body, how it takes in the breath, how despite illness, diagnosis, pains and aches or flaws, that you were made beautifully, that your vehicle, this machine, breathes you and moves you each and every day. As you continue to breathe in that gratitude, notice how every cell in your body vibrates, creating a sweet symphony of wholeness, of vitality, of life. Continue to breathe in and bless every cell of your being as it is unique and beautiful and yours. As you continue to breathe in, feel the gratitude of your freedom, of your ability to choose, of your ability to open your mind to all that Source inspires you with, your dreams, your imagination, divine ideas that come your way. And that is you who opens your mind and your heart to receive and see how all of those desires manifest in your everyday life. Breathe gratitude into that knowing. And as we continue to breathe together in the silence, fall into that grace. Feel the gratitude for all that you have and all that you are as you continue to breathe. And now as you slowly breathe yourself back to this time, back to this sanctuary, Feel gratitude towards yourself for being the energy, for providing the vibration that you do, for picking the positive thoughts that you do, because it changes the energy and connects each and every one of us in that gratitude, in that knowing, in the divine. Let's take another deep breath together, letting that gratitude flow through our being. And release it. And when you're ready to, open your eyes as we sing Alleluia together.
Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Grateful for each hand we hold, gathered around this table. From far and near we travel home, blessed that we are able. Grateful for this sheltered place, with light in every window, saying welcome, welcome, share this feast, coming away from sorrow. Father, mother, daughter, son, neighbor, friend, and friendless, all together, everyone, in the gift of loving kindness. Grateful for what's understood and all that is forgiven. We try so hard to be good, to lead a life worth living. Father, mother, daughter, son, neighbor, friend, and friendless, all together, everyone, let grateful days be endless. Grateful for each hand we hold, gathered around this table.
Samantha, Natalie. It's the music of Mary Chapin Carpenter.
Good morning. I want to start like Reverend Lawrence always does and thank James and our wonderful musicians. They open our heart every Sunday. Dina opened our heart with her beautiful meditation. And when we open our heart, we use that technique of feeling gratitude, resting in our heart, and we can align ourselves so that just for a moment we can release the anxiety and the stress, and we can feel the wholeness of uniting our mind and our body and our spirit, and relax and just be grateful to be alive. And that's kind of the basis of gratitude, just recognizing the joy of being alive, feeling that in your heart. So I want to start by talking about a deeper understanding of gratitude, and then help you recognize some of the benefits, talk about the blocks and why sometimes we struggle. It sounds easy, but it's not. And then give you a few techniques and skills so maybe we can develop daily practices and hopefully a lifetime spiritual practice of living in gratitude. So we all know the story of the Pilgrims. And so we think of that in our country. But I want to know if you understand how our government kind of moved us toward a federal holiday. Our very first president, George Washington, decided that he wanted to announce to the new countrymen that it was important that they be grateful that we survived the Revolutionary War, that we had a constitution, and we were forming a country. He didn't give a specific day, he just announced to the country, let's take time to be grateful. The next president that spoke to this was Lincoln. So we went from 1789 to 1863. And in 1863, Lincoln, following the Gettysburg War battle, said to the nation, let's be grateful for that battle that's kept together a union. Of course, the country was not united. The country was somewhat divided, but he knew the importance of asking his people, asking the people of this country to think how grateful we were that we were working toward union. Next was Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and you can thank him for Black Friday. Lincoln had proclaimed the last Thursday in November. He'd finally given a date, but Roosevelt was concerned, of course, about the Depression, and in 1939, he said, let's move it back to the next to last Thursday so there could be more shopping before Christmas to help us recover. Because there had been people without jobs, people going hungry, and he recognized we needed to go to that hard space, and besides help commerce, we needed that feeling of gratefulness. And then in 1941, Congress and the president both finally moved it to the date we use today of the fourth Thursday in November. So that's kind of the history of how we as a country have moved into this holiday. We all love Thanksgiving because we get together with friends and family and we have good food. I've heard many people tell me it's their favorite holiday because that's all we're supposed to do, get together, eat, and enjoy one another. So I would say that even though, yes, we recognize the deep gratitude of surviving war, of having a constitution and a country, of surviving times when there's really not even enough to eat, celebrating like ancient people did of just the harvest and having enough to get through the winter. When you sit around your table, most of you are going to do what my family does. You're going to be thankful for family and thankful for friends. Because gratitude is about connection. Gratitude connects us to our heart, to the deeper essence of ourselves and the meaning of life, and it connects us to others. It makes us feel that joy for the relationships in our life. And sometimes we even get moved beyond that to the understanding of the interrelationships of all of humanity. We start to grasp the grace of Spirit providing sun and rain and soil, and then those hands that plant and harvest and distribute and prepare, so that we know we're all interdependent. I would say that some of our resistance to moving into being thankful is that we're so darned independent. It's almost like we don't want to think we have to be thankful because somebody's done something and we're a little dependent. But in truth, if you could think of the interdependence, that large table that we all share of receiving and giving, that opens that just natural response of gratitude. And it moves you into that understanding of grace, of Spirit, indiscriminate giving to all of us. And you can see gratitude really is a spiritual practice. Now, it sounds like that would be simple. But you know, life's a little messy. And the truth is we don't always feel grateful. And if you want those benefits we're talking about, and we all want those benefits, because there's a lot of really good benefits from feeling gratitude, it has to be authentic. It can't be what the author of the book I used for inspiration called it debt and duty. She confessed in the book that she had a hard time with being grateful early in life because she had to write all those thank you letters for birthday gifts and Christmas gifts, and she resented it, she resisted it. And then she started to think about, though, all the times that people showed up at her mother's door with fresh baked cookies and floral arrangements and sincere thank you for all the wonderful things her mother did, because she had a very generous, warm-hearted mother. And she said, I want to learn that. So she decided to write this book about gratitude in 2016. She said immediately there was all the stress of the election. She had some severe health problems. Her family had some real traumas. And she began to think, why did I choose gratitude to write about? Now she had a deadline. She had a publisher expecting this book on gratitude. But you know, that's the way life is. We want to be grateful, but then life comes along. And this happens and that happens. So what we want to talk about a little bit today is how do we maintain in the background not just frustration, aggravation, cynicism, and anger, but make a little space for gratefulness, for gratitude. She said her husband gave her a purple ball hat that says, "Make America Grateful Again." She said that helped move her forward a little bit. And she began to recognize that often it's in spite of circumstances that we have to search for that grateful space. Reverend Lawrence has prepared us throughout the month by speaking from that scripture that many New Thought churches use at Thanksgiving. Thessalonians 5:16 through 18. Rejoice always. So first Sunday he says give praise. Pray unceasingly. Second Sunday he talks to us about praying as a form of gratitude. And then the last line says, in all circumstances, give thanks. That's the tough one. Now notice it doesn't say for all things. It would be crazy to be grateful for some of the stuff that comes at us. But can we manage to stand in the midst of what's going on and make space for all the support and the goodness and the interdependence that we have that can help us through those times? Because gratefulness can help us with resilience. It can help us find healthy ways of coping, help us find hope again. So gratitude is such a wonderful spiritual practice. And it's a matter of getting to those benefits. Well, what are the benefits? About 20 years ago, they started actually doing research. They found that almost every research program they ran was consistent in proving that it gave you heart health. Your emotions are centered in your heart. They said, is this affecting actually heart health? Yes. They found that those who have a practice of gratitude have healthier hearts. They have less inflammation, which is kind of the root sometimes of some of our diseases. They give us mental health. There's less substance addiction. There's less depression. We find that we have a greater sense of worth. We have a greater self-confidence if we're operating from a state of gratitude. But we have to be able to be authentic in it. We have to remember that the emotions, the motion of feelings through your heart, sometimes get stuck. And sometimes those honest emotions that you have to honor don't move on through. And so that you have these emotions in your heart that are causing pain and suffering. And just making a little bit of space so that the feeling of gratitude, which helps you relax, helps you feel good, can make that movement start again and make the flow. So I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the blocks. What can we look at and figure out that we can do when we feel ourselves being blocked from that feeling of gratitude? And the woman that wrote that book, Diana Butler Bass, she has a PhD in religious studies from Duke University. She gave some wonderful little frameworks for looking at the blocks. One of the things she talked about is just looking at how we process the past, the present, and the future. Look at how we look at our memories. In truth, a lot of people go to one extreme or the other. The past was all good, and I'm stuck in nostalgia, and I can't move into the present because the past was so much better. Or we awfulize, oh my God, the past was a pain in the whatever, and I bring that point of view into my present, and I can't see the present clearly. So she said, just learning to balance your memories, be more honest, be honest with yourself about what the past was, allows you to move into the present and process it in a different way. She talked about an author named Parker Palmer, who's a Quaker, who's written several spiritual books. He has written several books that Unity uses as textbooks, as a matter of fact. He talked in one of his books about soft eyes. This is another technique, a skill you can learn that helps you look at the past better, look at the present in a different way. And soft eyes is a martial arts term that says you're seeing the periphery. You've not narrowed your focus so that you're looking only at the negative or only at the positive, but you've widened your lens. And he said, gratitude often is lurking out there in the periphery. It's those things along the edges that really are the good things that are going on that can help us with those things in front of us that maybe we need help with. So when you use soft eyes and you can have a wider focus, a wider lens, a different way of looking at the world, you're also able to handle surprises better. Because those who are narrow-focused get surprised by those things out here in the periphery they're not paying attention to, and they go into fight or flight. Where those who are not so narrowly focused but have the wider lens, seeing the whole picture, they're not as surprised by the things happening in the periphery, and they can respond more authentically. They can respond in ways that include gratitude. So, looking at the past in a different way, bringing soft eyes and a balanced memory into the present can help us with some of the blocks, because we get stuck in the way we see things. We get stuck in the emotions in our heart. And she said, how do we move into the future? How do we use that to move into the future? Well, we begin through that wider lens to see more possibilities. We begin to see hope and possibilities of something new in the future that's going to enrich us. It helps us move into that acceptance of the wonder and awe of the world around us, the beauty of who and what we are, our appreciation of all the others in our life. So just looking at our memories in a different way, just using soft eyes, just beginning to have a little hope and expectancy of the future helps prepare us for removing some of the blocks. She also talked about headwinds and tailwinds. We have a tendency to look at our challenges more than we do our support system. That's just human nature. So if we're looking at what we're flying into and how it's coming at us, again, we've got that narrow focus that maybe we have forgotten all the support of family and friends. Maybe we're forgetting the divine abilities within us that prepare us and allow us to handle those challenges, those headwinds that are coming at us. So if we can look at our headwinds and our tailwinds, balance that, not be so tied to the past in nostalgia, but have honest hindsight that's more balanced, we're better able to handle the blocks of the emotions that are stuck, our ways of looking at life that's stuck. Another little acronym she gave that I thought was very useful. This was from Robert Emmons, E-M-M-O-N-S. Robert Emmons is the eminent researcher in gratitude. He talks about something called ARC. He said he reminds himself that this practice of gratitude, this moving into having a more grateful background rather than frustrated and aggravated and angry and upset, it takes a while. So he always remembers the quote from Martin Luther King that the arc of justice is long. He says that helps him remember that also the arc of gratitude is long. It's to arch over our life. And he said the ARC stands for amplify the goodness, rescue us from toxic emotions, and connect us. Connect us to our heart, to our deeper self, to others, to the planet, to spirit. So he said through remembering ARC, he's sometimes reminded to come back to this idea that he can live his life in gratitude. It's not easy because we have things coming at us that we have to deal with. And so we have to actually choose it, cultivate it, and realize that just like everything else, it takes practice. It's funny that using this book in the last month, as I've thought about this, as I've prepared to talk to you today, I was just sure that I was going to use all these little tricks every day, and I can tell you it's been a struggle for a month. If toward the end of the day, oh yeah, I forgot to do blah, 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 and I'm up to this point in my day and I haven't really been looking with soft eyes, and up to this point I have forgotten to have more balanced memories, and so, but it keeps coming back if you're focused on it. So you want to choose it. You can choose gratitude. You want to cultivate it. You want to realize that it can rescue you from those other emotions that are awash in your heart. It can connect you, take you out of yourself. We get so stuck in our head. Sometimes we feel so alone. That connection is so important. So to build the practice, she also gave some nice frameworks. She said if you really want a daily practice, of course if you're going to have a lifetime practice, you've got to start with a daily practice. You could look at the framework of your day. Morning, noon, and night. In the morning, set an intention of gratitude. And I'm like sometimes an hour into the day. Oh yes, I intend today to be grateful. I intend today to recognize the goodness around me. But you set the intention. At lunch, you can do a check-in. How am I doing with that? Have I been focused on the people at my workplace driving me insane? Or have I been grateful that my divine abilities within have allowed me to handle it? Have I remembered to see some of the things in the periphery with soft eyes? And then at the end of the day, which we all do anyway, I think most of us do a review of the day at the end of the day. But can you do the review and say, oh, there was something that was wonderful. I feel gratefulness for that. And she talked about a practice that the Jesuits use. Pope Francis is from that background, Jesuit. They have something at the end of the day that's called examen, E-X-A-M-E-N, Latin for examination. So in their review at the end of the day, they have a little 5-step method that I've been trying to remember to use. Now you can use it either sitting in your easy chair when you finally sit down and said, enough of that, I've worked all day, I'm really tired, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna relax, and then after you've taken that deep breath, let some of it go, just remember the presence of Spirit. Remember that essence of life within you. And then when you're centered in that, you can begin to kind of examine your day. Remember, review it. And then as you do that, notice your own emotions. Have you got some that are kind of stuck that you want to try to, if you can, to release? And then the Jesuits choose one feature of their day to pray from. It could be something that happened that they really truly are grateful for, a prayer of gratitude. Or it can be as we do in unity when we say, I'm facing this challenge. I don't want to be so fixated on it that I give it power. I want to deny the power over me. I want to remember my own divine abilities to handle that challenge and be grateful for that. And then after you've done your prayer from that feature of the day, you turn toward tomorrow. You say, okay, I'm going to let today go. Of course, then you're going to lay down and you're going to close your eyes and it's going to float back through. And you're going to count your blessings, not sheep. And that helps your sleep. But it is a process that allows you to kind of go through your day and remind yourself of the ways you can process it differently, see it differently. And it allows you to release some of the things and not take it into the next day. So what I found through studying this book for the last month is you can weave gratitude throughout your day. It can be a natural part of your day. You may have to work at it because we're a mass of habits, and some of those habits that we've chosen don't include gratitude. If we're really self-aware and honest, and I tell you, all transformation starts with that. If you're really honest, you might see that the background in which you view life is not gratitude. It's frustration, aggravation, anger, cynicism. We've all got some of that. But you can learn to also remember to bring that gratefulness into it. I wanted to close by reading a prayer she's got in the back of this book. It's a beautiful Thanksgiving prayer, and I'm hoping that as we end our service and prepare to go over to the bountiful banquet, you can imagine us around our tables over there, or imagine you on Thursday around your family table. God, there are days we do not feel grateful, when we're anxious or angry, when we feel alone, when we do not understand what's happening in the world or with our neighbors. We struggle to feel grateful. But this Thanksgiving, we choose gratitude. We choose to accept life as a gift from you, from the unfolding work of all creation. We choose to be grateful for the earth from which our food comes, for the water that gives life, and for the air we all breathe. We make the choice to see our ancestors, those who came before us, and their stories as a continuing gift of wisdom for us today. We choose to see our families and friends with new eyes, appreciating them for who they are, and be thankful for our homes, whether they're humble or grand. We'll be grateful for our neighbors, no matter how they voted or how much we feel hurt by them. We choose to see the whole planet as our shared commons, a public stage of the future of humankind and creation. God, this Thanksgiving, we do not give thanks, we choose it. And we will make thanks with strong hands and courageous hearts. When we see your sacred generosity, we become aware that we live in an infinite circle of gratitude, that we all are guests at a hospitable table around which gifts are passed and received. We will not let anything opposed to love take over this table. Instead, we choose to see grace, free and unmerited love, the giftedness of life everywhere, and the tender web of all creation. In this choosing, in this making, we'll pass gratitude out into the world. Thus, with you and all those who gathered here, we pledge to make thanks. And we ask you to strengthen us in this resolve here now and into the future. Around this table, around the table of our nation, around the table of our earth. And so it is. Amen.
I think everybody here will agree that one of our greatest blessings at this spiritual center is Cynthia Roberts. We love you so much, Cynthia. Thank you for being part of our spiritual family. And now is a time in our service when we express our gratitude by sharing our financial gifts with this spiritual center. And as we demonstrate that God is our source, this spiritual center is completely supported through the contributions of our members and our congregants. We also just want to remind everybody as we get ready for shopping season to visit Amazon Smile. This is a separate portal from your regular Amazon. This is a way to support this spiritual center when you shop until you drop this Friday and Saturday and Sunday coming up. When you go into your browser, you simply go to smile.amazon.com and then choose Unity Church of Pompano Beach as your charitable beneficiary. And every dollar you spend at Amazon goes towards money that is then donated to this spiritual center. Also, if you give outside of this Sunday service, if you are giving through our online bill pay, or if you write a monthly check, we invite you now, as we get ready to bless our offering, to join us by using our proxy card. This is a little green blessing card that's in the back of it's actually in the front of your chair back, and you can take that in your hand and take your gifts that you have in your hand as we join together in our spiritual blessing. Please join me as we bless our offering together. With a grateful heart, I acknowledge God as source of all that is. Today, I let go of any concern of lack and allow good to unfold in my life. Good is mine. Good and more good is mine. An ever-increasing good is mine. Everywhere I go, I see this good. I feel it, I experience it, I freely give it, and it multiplies itself around me. And so it is. Amen.
Here's a little song that Cynthia sent to us from a guy called Daniel Namond, who's quite well known. And I got to tell you, it's so easy. You can sing along, I promise. So feel free to sing along. You're going to.
All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all. All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all. So I lift up my hands now, and I open my heart, and my gratitude flows out to everything near and far.
So lift up my hands now.
So I lift up my hands
And I open my heart.
and I open my heart,
My gratitude flows out
and my gratitude flows
to
out
everything near and far.
everything near and far. All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all. All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all.
Some of you might remember that song from our Absolute Abundance class a couple years ago that Cynthia and I taught. That was a beautiful song choice, Cynthia. Thank you. And I am also very grateful for all of our prayer chaplains that you see lining our beautiful auditorium here. We invite you to join one of them for prayer after service right here in the sanctuary. And again, you don't need an issue or a problem to seek prayer. Just join with them in consciousness to recognize all of the blessings in our life. Speaking of gratitude, Bountiful Banquet is right after service. We're going to invite everybody to exit through these double doors, go right on into the fellowship hall. Go ahead and you can go ahead and start serving yourself at the banquet table. We're going to have two lines, so you want to do one line on each side of the table. I know Sandy Warner is over there. She's getting everything ready, and she'll direct you to pick up your plate, grab your food, and then the utensils are set up on the actual tables where you'll be sitting. Now, we ask everyone to just remember that we want everyone to get some food. So if you plan to have seconds, make sure everyone has had first before you go back up. Also, as we always do in Unity, we begin with prayer. So we're going to do a prayer. Once everyone has moved into the fellowship hall, Dina Shemek, our lead of our prayer chaplain ministry, will bring us or hold us in prayer, and we'll gather together in consciousness for that. So with that, we invite everyone to stand for the prayer of protection and the peace song. Together, the light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy
Have a great
Thanksgiving.
week.
Your grace, oh Lord, I will dance forever.